Today I want to start with one word: happiness. Now I know this sounds like a very intangible thing and it's fluffy, we don't want to talk about it, but one of the main drivers of happiness, besides family and friends, is meaningful work. Today I would like to present you the Meaningful Institute, where we foster leaders to spark meaningful impact. Now the Meaningful Institute is an educational setting, and we will have different programs as we grow and as we develop. Today, the focus really is on our first program, our flagship program, and this is the Action Development Program. Now, what is the Action Development Program? It's very simple. It's an action-packed program that connects personal development with professional orientation while creating social impact. So how does this work in more detail? Basically what we do is we start with connecting 20 international people. From all over the world, we connect these 20 people and we bring them to the northeast of Brazil. When they're there, they form clusters, small teams. With the help of coaches, business mentors, academics, experts, they will look at social challenges or environmental challenges that could use a solution. For example, water, food, culture, health, or fauna and flora. During their time, during those 3 weeks, they will develop those solutions, and at the end, they will present their solutions to the local community. In that case, we engage them. We hope to inspire the local community, but we also hope that those people will go back to their home countries feeling inspired and aspired as well. Why? Does this really all make sense, what we're doing, or are we just crazy people? Well, we have some reasoning behind this. We discovered that this new generation, the Generation Y, or the Millennials, what they're called as well, are different. They're different from the Generation X, they're different, very different from the baby boomers. However, by 2020, they will form more than 50% of the workforce. So what is this millennial group? Well, it's a group of people that grew up with social networks, that grew up with real time, that grew up with high expectations. Everything has to happen now and here. However, what also binds them is that they have this need. They have a need to connect, they have a need to give, and they have a need to be involved. On the other hand, we have institutions. Institutions for us are startups, companies, NGOs, educational institutions, governments, basically all the places where these millennials will go to. The characteristics of this is the institutions are looking for innovation. More and more we see trends of companies, of institutions trying to revolutionize the models, trying to come up with something new, something more sustainable. We also know that there is this need for talent. And people are looking for talent, and it's not always easy to find talent. And there's different descriptions of what talent is. And finally, we see an increased need in CSR programs, from the government enforced, but also from companies who want to actually give back. So, bringing both together, we notice that there's 3 combining parts: a need for leadership, a need for creativity, and by far and most, a need for meaning. So our candidates. These are our candidates. These are our millennials. If you look at the age group, 25 to 35, this is the age group that we're targeting, it's 1 billion people. It's a big market. What we know of this big market: 15% loves their job, which means 85% does not love their job that they're doing. That's a lot. We also know that 63% is, or describes their job as just a job. Not a career, no future, it's just a freaking job. 71% of these millennials want to have an overseas experience. They want to have a different culture. They want to go and travel the world and do something in the world. We also know that 4.4 years, a couple of years ago, this was the average tenure of a millennial in a company. However, this is decreasing rapidly. It's getting more and more closer to 3 to 2 years, and less and less. Putting this all together, we believe that our market is about 10 million. Now, how did we get from 1 billion to 10 million? Well, because our client is this. It's the one who does the opposite. It's the one that is looking for meaning. It's the one that is saying, hey, I want to change something. I want to do something different. And we know, and for those that remember the picture of the penguin, there's only one penguin that needs to jump in the water, and all the others will follow. So we know that our initial market might be only 10 million, but the end market is much bigger. So which is the program that we're actually talking about? What does this really contain? It contains of 3 main pillars that we find are very important. A professional development or orientation, personal development, and fun for an exact time of 3 weeks. Professional development includes human-centered design or design thinking, which is a new methodology of coming up with solutions through observing the people, through working with the people. A feasibility analysis. Once you come up with a solution, does it really make sense? Is there a market for this? And then, very important, soft skills. Learning how to communicate with your peers, learning how to negotiate, learning how to do public speaking are very important skills these days. On the personal development, we also have 3 pillars. The first week, we focus mainly on team coaching, trying to get the group really to work together as a team. After 1 week, we'll develop peer coaching skills so that they can start helping each other. And the third week, we focus mainly on individual coaching, trying to get their personal development and professional orientation on a track. And finally, obviously, we need fun, because without fun, what do you really have? So the fun is predominantly social-cultural immersion, but it also includes spending 3 days in Jericoacoara, which is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. And we're only a couple hours away from this, so we should take advantage of being there. So, more specifically, why this middle-of-nowhere city, community in Brazil? Well, it's very simple. We call these communities invisible communities. And they're everywhere. Even here in Spain, in your home countries, you have these communities, those pockets where people live, and they get born, they die, they go to work, but nobody talks about them. There's nothing happening in this. Maybe once in a while the cat is hanging in the tree, that's it. So you have a lot of these communities where nobody really talks about, nobody really goes to. So Jua is just one sample of this. And it's in the northeast of Brazil, which is a community that could develop its social-cultural environment. Now, more specifically, we believe that Jua offers a couple different things. It is a place to disconnect. The closest airport is 3 hours away, it's Fortaleza. The closest city is an hour away. Basically, you're an island surrounded by sand and cactus. There's nothing to do. So it's a great place to really think, reflect, do something completely different without hearing the sirens of police cars and people yelling and screaming. It's very different. It's a research playground. Why do we call this a research playground? Because you will be involved with the community, developing a solution for the local community, experimenting with your own skills, testing, learning, failing, learning again. So you'll be doing a lot of these things that will help you as a future professional. And finally, the social impact. Yes, you could possibly do this project in Rio de Janeiro, which might be much more fun, but where is the social impact? Here you can really make a difference to those local people. So what is really our value proposition? What do you get at the end of this? A network. This is something that people are looking for. They want to have a sense of belonging to a group. So in this case, you belong to a network of people that want to do something different, that are looking for something new. Professional orientation. Because when you go through the entire spectrum of looking for an opportunity, developing a solution, creating a market, doing the analysis of finance, doing logistics and operations, you will go through the entire spectrum of any company that you can discover what is really your personal trigger, what really triggers you as an individual to develop further in the future. Coaching. Coaching is a skill that is more and more and highly rewarded at companies, the ability to coach, but also coaching is a very big part of global communities, companies. Soft skills, as I mentioned earlier, the skills to negotiate, to run a team, to lead a team, to be a follower in a team as well. Community impact, what I said as well, fun, all in all, a life-changing experience. This is what we offer to those people that will come. So, what are we here for then now? So what is our next steps that we really have to do? One is branding. Branding and marketing is a very big pillar. We know that we need to have a strong brand for people to come to us. Luckily, we were able to get an ALCP team. Olga is the leader of that team, and Jaspinder is there, and oh, there we go, Pitting is there as well. Basically, they will help us develop this marketing plan. That's what we're begging them to do, actually. So we're fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But it's really an idea that they help us understand the group of people that we're targeting. Where can we really get them? We know that these are the group of people that have been, or that are working, or have been working for, like, say, 5 years on average. So where do these people aggregate? Where do these people go? So they will help us with that. Also, we're looking for partners. We're looking for universities, big companies that can help us really create this new trend in developing programs. And finally, a pilot. And this is happening in end of March, beginning of April. We will do a 2-week pilot. A 2-week pilot where everybody here is invited to really come to us, help us develop this, help us take this to a whole new level, get maybe crazy ideas for other programs that you feel there is a need for. Help us with the marketing, help us with the branding, any aspect that we need. You can help us with this. And this is something that we were looking for now. We were looking for 10 people. This could be MBAs, non-MBAs, but anybody who fits in that category that wants to come with us, that wants to help with us. And the cost is basically you're covering the cost of being there. So your flight, your food, and that's it. There's no surcharge, right? But and Angelica Kwai is a part of this. Very important.